Hey, Sean, it's been a year, so let's talk about the Rode NTG3. With any of these 1 year later reviews, it's a product that I've used for at least 12 months and at least on 12 different shoots during those 12 months. And I've had the Rode NTG3 for about 2 years now. And it is a fantastic microphone. So I have 4 pros for this microphone and 2 cons that we're gonna go through. The first pro is the sound quality, the low noise. It's just a fantastic microphone. And compared to its competitors, which are things like the Sennheiser 416, I would say the Deity S-Mic 2 is encroaching on the space a little bit. There's a few Audio-Technica 897. There's a handful of microphones. And I would challenge anyone who's not the truest of audiophiles in the top 1% of audio engineers in the world to really hear the difference between the two, between this mic and any other mic, especially in the way that microphones are used more and more, where your final product is coming out of somebody's laptop speakers or headphones or phone or tablet. You're not in a place where the truest quality of audio is going to come through. And even if you were, this is Rode's flagship microphone and it comes to play. And I have never been in a situation where this mic has not performed just as well, if not better, than any other shotgun that's being used on set. And I know there are people who would, say, no, it's not the Sennheiser 416, so it's not good enough. And I would challenge them to listen to 2 audio files recorded at the exact same time with the exact same situations and conditions and pick out which is the 416 and which is the Rode NTG3. Now, compared to other Rode microphones like the NTG4, the 3 is actually better. I don't know why the number system, they did it that way. But the 4 has a bit of a different frequency response. This is so good at picking up the human voice. The Rode NTG4 is better if you're doing sound effects and things like that. It gets some of the high-pitched nuances of things like water and glass shattering, stuff in that high range. It's going to pick up a little bit more clearly. This rounds things out and makes it really, really pleasant, especially for the human voice. So this is my go-to interview microphone, except when it's not, and we'll get to that in a minute. Pro number 2, it's durable. It is really well built. It is an all aluminum casing and the electronics are well sealed inside. This microphone has been dropped and bumped into and abused as much as any microphone is going to be abused, and it does not have a scratch on it, and it continues to work. It's free of dents and things like that. I know there's some people who are proud of how dented their microphones get over the course of their lives, but I try to take good care of my stuff, and even when I don't, this isn't like a cheap replacement or stand-in for the 416. This is a fantastic, well-built, well-balanced microphone. Number 3, I didn't think I would ever notice number 3, but they preach about how this thing holds up to moisture in the air and shooting in the rain and things like that. It has this whatever RF bias, something I don't understand, but I film in St. Louis quite a bit and we get a humid summer here, and you can hear a little bit of a difference between how crisp and clear this remains in a really sweltering humid if we're filming just after it's rained outside or something like that. I've shot some things at weddings and things like that where it does make a bit of a difference how clear this thing remains even when there is moisture in the air, which can affect audio and audio performance of other microphones. So I am impressed. Fourth and finally, this thing comes in this really cool case. This is a fully sealed tube it's got foam inside that wraps around the microphone, so the microphone fits in here, not with the windscreen, but it slides right in and it is held perfectly in. There's foam on both ends. It is perfectly measured where it's waterproof, it's weather sealed, it's got padding on the outside, these rubber gaskets, so you can put your microphone in here and chuck it in a dryer and it's going to be fine when it comes out on the other side. Don't actually do that. But it's just a cool little case, and I've gotten a lot of compliments as I get out this microphone compared to other microphones. When I pull this thing out of this metal sheath, people are like, oh, getting out the big microphone today. So that's just a nice touch that goes a long way, but it probably does play a small role in con number 1, which is the cost. Most of these shotgun microphones have been around now for a while, and they continue to cost about the same as they've always cost. Even though manufacturing costs and processes have changed, the costs have dropped, they're getting better, they're done engineering a lot of these things, they're just producing them now, and so there's a good reason for a lot of the costs to come down, but they have stayed where they are. And this microphone is around $800. I believe it's $799 in most places. And compared to the 416, which is around $1,000 or more, it is cheaper, but there's also options out there like Deity makes the S mic, which is a pretty good microphone. Audio-Technica has a handful, and even like the Rode NTG4, you're gonna get really good sound out of, and if you know how to tweak your EQ, again, you'll get to that place where you can't tell that it was recorded with a microphone that's twice as expensive. So the cost of this microphone, unless you're really getting into being an audio engineer, if you're a video producer who you record the audio of your interviews from time to time, things like that, this microphone is gonna get you there, but there's also a lot of mics that'll get you there for a lot cheaper than this one will get you there. And a lot of mics that you would never notice the difference that, you know, doubling the cost has on this microphone. So the cost is a bit prohibitive in spite of it still being technically a budget option in a lot of ways. Now the final con to this microphone is not unique to this microphone, and I've made a few videos about this specifically lately, but I feel like everyone has this desire to have a shotgun microphone. That's what you need. If you want to do interviews, you need a shotgun microphone. And so people get the 416, they get the Rode NTG4, 3, they get these shotgun microphones, but in my experience, I use a shotgun microphone less frequently than I use other microphones. Specifically, I have a Rode NT5 pencil condenser microphone, and I've made a video all about that NT5. But when you're shooting anything indoors, anywhere where there's a bit of reverb or echo, any shotgun microphone is going to start to sound a little muddy because the higher frequencies bounce off of surfaces, come back, hit the mic again, and cancel themselves out. And a shorter microphone lets these frequencies live in the signal instead of being canceled out by that delay in the phase. And so even though this is a great shotgun microphone, if you're watching this video because you want a good microphone for video production, I don't know that this would be the best microphone for you, or any shotgun at any price point. There's a lot of pencil condenser microphones or indoor dialogue microphones that'll probably be a better choice for you than the shotgun would, because hopefully you won't be in situations where you're trying to ignore background noise quite as frequently as you're in situations where you're in a room that the walls aren't treated properly. If you do anything where you're shooting in conference rooms or on location in somebody's office, you're probably not going to want a shotgun microphone for a lot of those situations. And if you are shooting bigger productions, you're gonna hire a sound engineer who's gonna have 10 different microphones to choose from in the first place. So if you're considering buying the Rode NTG3 as your sole or main video production microphone, I would urge you to look at maybe a few others like the Deity S-Mic 2S, which is a shorter, sort of like a middle ground shotgun. It's got like a 2.5 inch grid on it instead of this like 7-inch grid on the side of the NTG3 here. Or even like the NT5, which is a true pencil condenser microphone, which has no long echo chamber on it to get rid of that interference. So if you're looking for one microphone, this might not be your microphone. If you're looking for a shotgun microphone and you know that you're going to get the most use out of it compared to other microphones, the Rode NTG3 is a great microphone for what it does compared to other mics in the space for its cost. So I ended up selling my NTG4, my Audio-Technica 897, and a few other microphones, and now this is my only shotgun microphone, and I have this, I have my NT5, and then I'm looking to get a couple of the Deities to test them to see how they compare, because they're cheaper, and I've liked every microphone. This is being recorded with the Deity D3 Pro. I like the Deity microphones. I like this D3 Pro more than I like the Rode Video Mic Pro, so I'm wondering how the other shotguns measure up against it at the cost. But if you want a good microphone, it's a good microphone. There are other options for cheaper, there are other options for more expensive, and there are other options depending on where and what you're filming. But if you're looking for this shotgun microphone or something comparable, it's not gonna let you down. Thanks for watching. See you later, bye.